In this lesson, we're going to discuss the visual guides. Visual guides play a vital role in aligning objects in a Flash file. We have various visual guides, such as rulers, guides, grids, and so on. So let's discuss how to create these visual guides. Go to View and select Rulers to view the rulers on the stage. Using rulers, we can place any object in an accurate point. Click and drag the ruler. We get a green-colored line, either horizontally or vertically, depending on the dragging. These lines are known as guides. If we wish to move the guides, take the mouse pointer near the guide line. Below the mouse pointer, we can see a small triangle. Just click and drag, and we can move our guide. Next, if we want to lock the guides, then go to View and select Guides, and choose Lock Guides. We cannot move the guides since they are locked. We can also edit the guides using the Edit Guides option under the Guides menu. Go to View and select Guides. Choose Edit Guides option, and here we can change the guide color. Click here and select any color, and then Show Guide. Snap to Guide and Lock Guide option if needed. Snapping accuracy must be close, normal, and can be distant. We can save the setting as default, clear all the values using these options, then click OK to apply these settings, and then note your changes. Grids are shown as small boxes on the stage, and it helps us to move objects as we work in Flash. Go to View and select Grid, and Show Grid. We can view the grid as like guides. We can also edit grids. So go to View and select Edit Grid option from the Grid menu. Now we can alter the grid color, select options like Show Grid, Show Over Objects, and Snap to Grid options. We can increase or decrease the horizontal and vertical spacing between each grid by changing here, and snapping accuracy can be set. So click OK to apply all these changes. Now about snapping. Snapping allows us to align objects with respect to each other, grid, guide, and alignment. We can view the rulers, grids, and guides available on the stage. Place one object on stage and go to View and select Snapping. Snap Align will snap the object according to the alignment made. Snap to Grid and Guide will snap the object to the grid and guide. Similarly, we can snap to pixels and objects. Now, select Snap to Grid and Guide. Let's move the object on the stage and note that it gets attracted and aligned as we move over the grid and guide. Now let's disable the snap option to grid and guide. Now if we move the object, it moves like a normal object and does not get aligned to grid or guide. Therefore, Visual Guide plays a vital role in aligning and moving objects while developing a design as well as an animation in Flash. Arrange. Earlier we discussed the visual guides, and here we're going to discuss Arrange Objects. Arrange Objects options lets us organize the objects available on the stage in an easy manner. Move on to the interface. Now here we have some objects on stage. Select them, and go to Modify, and select Arrange. Under Arrange we have some options. Come, let's discuss these options, shall we? Bring to front. This will bring the object as the topmost object. Its keyboard shortcut is Ctrl, Shift, and the Up key. Bring forward. This will bring the object one step front from the other objects. Its keyboard shortcut is Ctrl, Up. Send backwards. This will send the object to the backmost of all objects. Its keyboard shortcut is Ctrl and Down. Send to back will send the selected object one step back. Its keyboard shortcut, as you might guess, is Ctrl, Shift, and Down. Lock option will lock the object for the movement as well as for editing. Unlock All option helps us to move or edit the locked object. Fine, now select the back object. Go to Modify and select Arrange. And in that, choose Bring to Front option. Now, note the object which is in the stage. Came to the front, didn't it? Also note, Arrange Objects option doesn't work in shapes. Hence, we can organize the objects available on the stage using the Arrange option. It's very useful when we arrange our object. Align Objects. Aligning plays a vital role while working with different objects in an animation. In Flash, we can use Align options to align the object's top, bottom, left, right, and so on. So go to Modify and select Align, and choose Left. This option aligns the object to the left in the vertical axis. Horizontal Center will bring all the objects to a center point in the horizontal axis. Right will bring the objects to the right of the vertical axis. Similarly, we can align the objects to top and bottom of the horizontal axis. Vertical Center will bring the objects to the center point of the vertical axis. Next, we have Distribute Width and Height, which will make the objects possess the width and height of the largest object. Make Same Width and Height lets us have same height and width for all the objects. If To Stage option is selected, all the above-mentioned settings will take place according to the stage. For example, if we deselect this option and select Left, then the object won't move to the left of the stage. Let's have an example, shall we? Place one object on the stage and select the object. Go to Modify and select Align. In that, choose the right option. Note the object has moved to the right of the stage. Well, now again, go to Modify and deselect To Stage option. And then choose Left from Modify menu. See, the object didn't move to the left of the stage. Instead, it moves to left with respect to the other objects. Now that gives you an idea about To Stage option. Hence, using the Align object, we can move the objects in any direction with respect to stage or other objects on the stage. Transform objects. We can transform the objects in Flash using Transform options, or the option available under Free Transform tool. Compared to Transform tool, here we have many options located under the Transform option. Place one object on the stage. Go to Modify and select Transform and choose the Free Transform. Free Transform option is similar to Free Transform tool. We can perform scaling, skewing, and rotation on an object in this mode. Great. Now, let's move on to Distort option. Distort allows us to move the corners or edges and realigns the adjoining edges. Select the object on the stage. Go to Modify and select Transform. In that, choose Distort option. As we select the option, we can see a bounding box over the shape which we placed on the stage. Now we can change our shape by dragging at any end. Next, we have Envelope. Envelope lets us warp and distort objects. Select the objects and go to Modify. Select Transform option and choose Envelope. Now, edit the shape of the object by adjusting its points and tangent handles, such as this. Select the object and choose Scale option from Modify menu. Scale will enlarge or reduce an object either horizontally or vertically, such as this. Select Rotate and Skew option from the Modify menu. The Rotate option will rotate the object according to the transformation point. The transformation point is the registration point which will be in center of the object by default. Note the object is rotating as we move the handles. Skewing an object will turn it in a slanting manner to X and Y axis. Very good. Next, let's move on to Scale and Rotate option. Select it from Modify menu. Scale and Rotate lets us enter the percentage for the object scaling and the rotation in degrees. Specify the values and select OK. Then note the change in the object. Next, we can rotate the object in 90 degrees clockwise and anti-clockwise using these options. We can flip the objects vertically or horizontally by using Flip Horizontal and Vertical commands. Remove Transform option removes all types of transformation techniques applied to an object and brings back to its original form. Therefore, we have learned how to apply transformation and also how to reform those transformations from an object using the Transform options, which is located under the Modify menu. Motion